I hope you're having a great day. I hope you had a great weekend. Well, today I want to talk about, the fast that we've been talking for the longest time. Well, you see, intermittent fasting has become a fad. We all know that because people mindlessly do 16 hours, people mindlessly do 18 hours and all of that stuff. So when there's a large population of people who are doing intermittent fasting and not getting the results, the one thing that we need to look at is what is going wrong with the intermittent fasting. And most people blame the fasting, but they don't look at the way they're doing it. Most people intermittent fasting are breaking the fast the wrong way. The biggest mistake that we see, people intermittent fast and then in the building phase, you have the fasting phase where you have only water. You have the building phase where you eat. But people in the building phase still try to diet, cut out foods, macronutrients, not eat. And then they put their body into more stress and they actually make the fast more harmful for them. So over the last couple of weeks, we moved people into a new system of fasting, which is according to your biological clock. We did a whole video on how we have a master clock in our body, and everything in the human body, everything is controlled by a clock. The time that you eat, the time that you're supposed to eat, the time that you sleep, the time that you wake up. Like, let's give an example of women. Women get their periods in cycles. This cycle is also according to a biological clock. Men, they build muscles in the gym, not in the gym, but while they sleep, according to a biological clock. So if you don't sleep at the right time, your workout is practically useless because you will not be able to build that kind of muscle. So everything works with a clock. The body puts you to sleep to create deep rest. And in that deep rest, it's helping you burn fat, balance your hormones, boost your immune system. Another simple example of the clock is when people fall sick. The first thing that you do, you don't have energy levels because the body is expected to rest. Because in that rest, your immune system can start fighting all the viruses, the bacteria, the pathogens, and everything else. So I think we pretty much established the fact that there is a biological clock in our body. And now it follows a rhythm. If we can align our lives with that rhythm, everything gets taken care of. So we've had thousands of people across the world over the last 20 days start eating their dinner early. Some of them by 6, some of them by 6:30, some of them by 7. And then they stop eating completely. They wake up in the morning. There's a beautiful period of 12 hours created of pure fasting. And then they break their fast. They have their breakfast. Some of them, if they're not hungry, they extend their breakfast and stuff like that. But people have fallen into this brilliant cycle of 12 hours of fasting in line with your circadian rhythm. Now, the benefits have been numerous, and you'll see it all over my Facebook page from people around the world. People are sleeping deeper. People's inflammation, pains, joints, all of that are getting better. People are waking up without puffy skin, no water retention. In fact, most of them are saying we're looking leaner and more defined and sharper. A lot of people are talking about how their overall appetite the next day is reduced. Sugar cravings, dependency on caffeine is also reducing because in this 12 hours, you allowed your body to do what it needs. You gave it a break. And when you give it a break, everything balances without you having to try. Today, the problem in the world is people are trying to use external things, external drugs, external supplements, external exercises and all of that stuff to create something which really needs to be balanced by respecting the biological clock in the body. Now, most people intermittent fasting, like I said, are mindlessly doing it. They start one night at 9 o'clock. They fast for 14 hours. The next day, they have a late night, so they start at 1 a.m. in the morning. They fast for 16 hours. Some people start the next day at 8. They fast for 17 hours. All you're doing is confusing your body. You are confusing your body and the biological clock. And it's these same people who say, I have no results from intermittent fasting. That's because you're doing it the wrong way. In fact, you're putting your body through more stress by causing more confusion to your biological clock, which is why I always tell people, have a rhythm, have a discipline in your life, have a routine. And if it has to break it, but don't do it the wrong way. Just because you've had a night of late night drinking and overeating doesn't mean more fasting is going to give you more benefits. It doesn't work that way. In fact, your body is going through so much of stress because of your heavy meal and all your binge drinking, and you're putting more stress by creating and depriving it of food. So we need to understand that if you want to get the real benefits of fasting, and believe me, when you start to get the real benefits of fasting, that is your preventative medicine. That is the medicine that is going to keep your immune system boosted, your inflammation, your skin, your hair, everything. And if you have a disease, your possibilities to recover from that disease or get better will happen because your body has all the energy and all the intelligence it needs because you gave it a break by fasting the right way. So I'm coming back down to the circadian rhythm of fasting. Everywhere it's hyped up, people are doing fasting. 16 hours. First of all, I ask people, why 16? Why not 15? Why not 18? So don't put a number in your brain. That's the most stupid thing to do. There is no magic in 16. Most of the magic, in fact, happens in the fasting period, which has a minimum of 12 hours, but it's aligned with your circadian rhythm. So the earlier you have your dinner, 12 hours after that, most bodies will be ready to break the fast. So now this takes us back to the circadian rhythm related to your diabetes, your high blood pressure, and everything else. Okay, in the morning, your blood pressure and your blood sugar levels are supposed to be the best, because after a night of rest, your body's cleaned up, digested food, pancreas are rejuvenated, enzymes and everything. We are supposed to have the best blood sugar levels and pressure in the morning. But most people have the worst readings in the morning because they've had a late night meal. Because they've had a late night meal, they haven't broken it down, you have insulin issues, you have all of these problems. So technically, again, everyone says breakfast, breakfast, breakfast. No, but if I'm eating an earlier dinner, more important than your breakfast is your dinner. Because what I want people to understand that if you're having a breakfast and a great lunch, this is the time that your body is capable of breaking down a large breakfast, a large lunch. What it is not capable of is digesting a heavy dinner. No matter how fit you are, how much you work out, it doesn't matter. Your body doesn't have the mechanism and the capability to break down a heavy dinner, period. So when you have this beautiful fast, you can wake up to a great breakfast. Have a beautiful breakfast, because guess what? You can get a lot of nutrition and energy, and your body's going to break it down because it breaks down your breakfast and lunch more efficiently than a late night dinner. Lunch, don't skimp on your lunch. Your lunch is where when your metabolic power is at the highest. So have a wholesome, beautiful lunch, and let your dessert come after lunchtime, not after dinner time, because your pancreas don't have the ability to produce the right amount of insulin at night. And most people have their sugary snacks, their ice creams, their desserts at nighttime. So it's not about you dumping your dessert, it's about you having it at the right time. So if you look at the Danish, the Europeans, they have, you know, their chocolate croissants, their Danish pastries, all of that at breakfast time. That's the most brilliant thing you can do. If you have a sweet craving, you don't want to feel deprived and have it at breakfast or have it at lunch. But your dinner is an early meal, practically or preferably with no dessert post that. Have a piece of jaggery, a piece of dark chocolate if you must. But the heavier desserts happen at lunchtime. So you see, you don't have to give up the things that you like. All you need to do is when you're working and respecting the cycle of nature, the circadian rhythm of the body, everything gets better. So most people wake up with the worst high blood sugar levels in the morning. That's why most people are requested to do their morning sugar levels. By only moving their dinners earlier, they're going to solve this problem. The same thing with your pressure. Most people have high blood pressure in the morning and through the day, because when you wake up in the morning, okay, you've woken up the wrong way with undigested food and all of these issues. Use the circadian rhythm, because the biological clock, when it finishes its round, it already has the mechanism to balance your blood sugar levels and balance your pressure. So when people are looking at managing their blood pressure, medication, there's a whole lot that depends on medication. Let's understand right now, you may need your medication, but it's not healing you. It's only suppressing your symptom. So when you're looking at managing blood pressure, or eventually getting off your medications the right way with your doctor in the loop, the first thing you do is have an earlier dinner. Move your body into the circadian rhythm so that your own intelligence of your body can now start managing your blood pressure and your diabetes for you. So again, intermittent fasting, do it the right way or it will harm you. It can make you fatter because you're in stress mode, deprived, and your body will produce more cortisol and you will store more fat. Do it the right way. Most people intermittent fasting end up with nutritional deficiencies because in the building phase, they're not eating the right amount of food, the right quality of food, or a balanced diet. Now, we don't need to complicate our lives. We can have a normal breakfast, a normal lunch, a decent dinner without having to worry about anything, so long as we finish our dinner by 6:30 or 7 maximum. If you're a late eater right now, at least try to bring it down to 9 or 8, eventually 7. And once you get into the cycle, believe me, you can't eat anything after 8 or 9. You go for a party, you won't feel like eating. Now, most people talk about socializing. We need to understand that socializing has become an evil in society because it's being overdone. Okay, so if you want to socialize, we're not stopping you. What stops you from having a dinner and then going out? Okay, once in a way you're socializing, go enjoy a dinner, a late dinner with your families and friends. But if you're socializing Monday to Saturday, listen, it's your responsibility to start taking it easy. Socialize, but at least 6 days, be disciplined, have your dinner at home, and then go out and socialize. If you must eat out at an event, eat very little bit of food. Your food should be more protein and more good quality fats rather than carbohydrates. But the best is trying to keep that long gap between your bedtime. Now, most people will say, oh, I'm hungry. You're hungry out of habit. Use discipline and sort it out. Few diabetics may have fluctuating blood sugar levels, but you need to work with your doctors or mindfully control your blood sugar levels so that you can build this 12-hour fast where it doesn't harm you, you don't go into hypo. At the same time, you'll see that your sugar levels start behaving themselves in the morning. So intermittent fasting, according to your circadian rhythm, is what is going to give you power. For all the people out there who are doing different hours every day, start time and end time of the fast is different every day, you're only confusing it and making it worse for your body, because your body doesn't care about how many hours you're doing or what you're doing. It cares about the rhythm and the biological clock. There is no human in the world who is more intelligent than the biological clock in all of our bodies that works in coordination with the setting sun, the wake up time, the eating cycles, the sleep wake cycles, and all of that stuff. Only you can decide that cycle which works for you. No one else can decide that for you. So you can't go wrong with an earlier dinner. Try to keep your eating timings the same every day. Try to keep your sleep wake up time the same every day. Give or take 1-2 days in a week when you're socializing, but what about the other 5 days? So when you start living within the rhythm of nature, your body is designed to look after you already. Look at animals. Do they need hospitals? Do animals need hospitals and all of that stuff? No, they follow the cycles of nature. They eat at the right time. They sleep at the right time. So nature looks after them. I'm talking about the nature in you, your intelligence, your immune system. But human beings are the only arrogant species who think they can challenge the biological clock and the rhythm of our body. No matter how advanced we are with technology and all of these cool things, we're still a sicker nation, growing sicker day by day. More frustrated day by day, more depressed day by day, more anxious day by day. So let's understand that it's not working for us. It isn't working for us, and only simplicity is going to work for us. So align your system. People will have 100 excuses. I come home late. Okay, you do it, don't do it, it's up to you. Where there's a will, there's a way. You would find a way to fit your social life in your week. So use that same effort and that same passion to figure it out. Some people may genuinely not be able to have an early meal. Then at least make your last meal the lightest. Then we have this basic Indian excuse, oh, but in the evening we bond with our families. Bond with your families. Who said you need to eat more food? Who says you need to eat fancier foods? Do you need fancy food to bond with someone? Or do you need communication, love, attention, care, nice talks to bond with someone? Whoever said food bonds you? It doesn't bond you. It's nice to have a family meal. You can have a family bonding over a healthy meal, over a lighter meal. It doesn't have to be a meal filled with crap. So reality first, common sense second, and the truth is third. So I want everyone out there who is fasting to stop confusing yourselves. And you don't have to fast every day. You don't have to fast every day. So stop stressing yourself out trying to do these magnificent fasts and posting, I did 40 hours and 50 hours and 30 hours and all of that crap. Your body's not asking you to do that much. Your body's asking you for the basics. Align it with your biological clock and your body looks after you. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.